Gentlemen, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Welcome back to my live stream. Can y'all hear me? This is Jacob Cass, 2024. We're gonna talk about Friday Night Smackdown. Smackdown just went up a couple minutes ago. We are gonna go through the whole show. We're gonna talk about the Massive. We'll talk about the masses on the show. Hold on. Just want to make sure this is being recorded, because I don't want to mess things up again. I actually hate how this happened. Hope I ain't got to do this over again. Seriously. Alright, so hopefully I get my subscriber and get my viewers. Make sure you guys enjoy this video. Hit that like button. Leave a comment. Please subscribe to my channel. Let me know in the comment section below if y'all want to see more. Just want to say thank you for watching. Thank you for all the support. We are going to go through what happened tonight on SmackDown, the road to SummerSlam, the road to Saturday Night Main Event, and also the build to the WWE Evolution, which is next Sunday. So we got those two shows, Saturday and Sunday next week. Now what happened on this show wasn't that good. Now we will go through all the matches. I'll talk about all the segments. And I will talk about some of the other storylines that are being developed. Alright, so hold on a second. I actually want to talk about some of the matches that they announced. Now SmackDown wasn't that good. It was kind of forgettable. I'm so glad that SmackDown is back to 2 hours. Oh wait, I forgot to mention. Make sure you guys, now my video has been sponsored by PlayStation. It's been sponsored by my favorite podcasters and other YouTubers like Solomon the Sound Off, JD from New York, Fightful Pro Wrestling, Joe Cronin, No DQ, Denise Salcedo, Just Alice, Good My Work Commentaries, and some other favorite podcasters that I know of. Now this live stream is gonna be like an hour and 10 minutes. Now, how the show ended, the New Bloodline, Solo, Tonga Loa, Tolo Tonga, Jason Mateo, they laid out Fatu. After Fatu and Jimmy got the win, Jacob Fatu pinned Solo Sikoa in the tag team match. He pinned the champion, but the New Bloodline, they still look strong. Probably because I get the feud, it's still going to continue. Yeah. Wait, hold on. Hold on a second. Oh wait, hold on. I'm trying to fast forward back to this math. Why do they keep skipping? Alright, you know what? Alright, I might as well do rewind. Might as well show you guys the Massive for next week. Alright, hold on. I'm gonna have to rewind. I have to go back here. Now, I'm not gonna show the actual wrestling. I'm only gonna show what I see here. Now, we got. Okay, so, alright, here we go. Now they already announced that next week we have. Hold on. Okay, the WWE podcast and the recap. Alright. Now next week in Nashville, Tennessee, next Friday, we got a Grammy-nominated multi-platinum rapper and singles songwriter, Jelly Roll. He'll be making a special guest appearance on SmackDown next week, so I guess that can be something big. Next Friday, we got the Street Profits defending their tag team championship against the Y6. I assume it's going to be Joe Gacy and Dexter Lumis for tag team titles. And we got R-Truth and Out of the Black. That's a match next week. They teased it last week. Also, they just announced for the WWE Women's Evolution pay-per-view that next Sunday. Tiffany Stratton will defend her Women's Championship against Trish Stratus because Trish Stratus made an appearance on SmackDown and they made the match official. Now they got history. They did team up at the Chamber in Toronto on Trish's 25th anniversary. Trish only came back just for ticket seller to give Tiffany something to do because was he going to defend the title? It's an all-woman pay-per-view. It's just for ticket sellers and to give Tiffany something to do, just to fill a few, and just give me a one-off until we get to SummerSlam where we hype up Tiffany and Jade. And yeah. We also got a rematch with Jade Cargill versus Naomi at Evolution. Now we got a segment that they were Naomi attacked Jade, so the feud still going to continue. Curious who's going to win that match. Is that it? I could have sworn that there were more matches here. Now we did get a segment with Demon Priest and Aleister Black in a birthday segment. We had a pretty good match with Andrade, Rey Fénix against Frasium. That was a pretty good match. Alright, might as well go back to my PS5. Okay. Alright, so now let's go back to the other ones here. Now, might we'll talk about the other thing that happened on Smackdown tonight. 2 hours went by very, very fast. Now, there was no John Cena. John Cena is WWE champion, but he's a part-timer. He only got a certain amount of days, so he wasn't on the show tonight. There really was nothing much on this show for 2 hours. We had some good wrestling, not that anyone cared about it. But the show opened up with Cody Rhodes coming out. He won King of the Ring on Saturday, a night champion. He beat Randy Orton. Randy Orton came out. We had it face-to-face here. Randy Orton said to Cody Rhodes, hope you kick John Cena's ass. The seeds are planted for a potential rematch between Randy and Cody. Whether that Orton turns heel, but Cody went back to title. We could be leading to that, by the way. Also, we got the return of Drew McIntyre. He came out during this segment, and he teed to go after Cody Rhodes, and he teed to go after Randy Orton. The segment ended with Randy Orton hitting an RKO on Drew McIntyre, and they announced the match next week at Saturday Night Main Event. We will see Randy Orton versus Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre at Saturday Night Main Event next week. So we will get that match. Probably a fill few. We'll see who wins that. I want to add more matches to that card. Drew McIntyre been off TV since the last Saturday Night Main Event after he lost to Damian Priest in that boss ending. We'll see how we gonna win this match or we're gonna lose. Now we got Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. They beat B-Fab and Michin, I believe, to earn a title shot at Evolution. So they will be in the fatal four-way to go after the entity, to go after the women's tag team titles. We'll see who wins that. Because well, Charlotte gotta be on the pay-per-view. Have her go after some worthless tag team titles that no one cares about. And it sets up, it still builds up the potential beef here with her and Alexa. We got the Wyatt Six, all members. I think we got Uncle Howdy, and we got Joe Gacy, Dexter Lumis, and Eric Rowan. They beat I think Champion was in it, and it was I forgot the other guy's name. Was it Kyle? What's his name? Alex Shelley and Ciampa. I think it was Monte Ford. I think. it was an 8-man tag. The Wyatts defeated all these guys. Oh wait, it was. Oh yeah, I forgot. It was Berto. So the Wyatts defeated Montefiore, Gargano, Berto, and Crick Sabins. Might have been some jobber or somebody I don't know. But the Wyatts won, so they're still being built up to go after their tag team titles. And then we got the birthday segment that I said earlier that Tiffany chooses to battle Trish Stratus at the Women's Evolution pay-per-view. That's next Sunday. We had the segment with her and Jade and Tiffany. And then we got the birthday segment where Naomi attacked Jade birthdays with the briefcase. I think the best match was Andrade and Ray Phoenix defeated Frasium, Asium, and Nathan Fraser. Very good match. Andrade, Ray Phoenix, I'm glad they're on TV and they're actually getting a win, even though they're not really doing much. And then, as for the main event, we got Jacob Fatu and Jimmy Uso versus Solo Sikoa, and I believe it was JC Mateo. And surprisingly, Jacob Fatu and Jimmy Uso got the win. Fatu pinned Solo, he pinned the champion after he won the title from Jacob at Night of Champions and pinned him. Here's Solo getting pinned, I don't know why. I guess they still want to protect Jacob and keep him strong. But after the match was over, all the bloodline came out. They beat up Jimmy, they beat up Jacob, they put Jacob to the announce table with a triple powerbomb. Solo's new bloodline. Now Solo did cut a pretty good promo in the back with all the guys. Solo, Tala Tonga, aka Hikuleo, JC Mateo, aka Jeff Cobb, and then the returning Tonga Loa. All four of them, they stood tall to close out the Smackdown. They beat down Jimmy and Jacob. Now, Smackdown wasn't that good. It was kind of forgettable. So far, I just want to let you guys know that nothing really happened on Smackdown. What the hell happened on Smackdown? I'm gonna pique my ears here. I mean, besides Drew McIntyre return, nothing else. Now, it is still too early to hype up SummerSlam. I might will show y'all some of the podcasters so y'all can hear it.
Hesitated in that match. Cody did not. He respects Cody for that, but he won't soon forget it. And he wanted a promise from Cody. A promise that Cody will not opportunity. We then had Drew McIntyre making an appearance. Drew's first appearance on WWE television since he lost the steel cage match at Saturday night's main event to Damian Priest. Interesting that Drew would return on a taped show. He made fun of them for being besties. He said it's a better male energy.
I forgot that SmackDown was taped.
And supporting the no DQ.
The Hurt Syndicate do no jobs. Tiffany and Trish, first time ever. Alright. Obviously, there's not much podcasters. There's Joe Cronin. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention to all my fans out there, happy 4th of July. Today's the 4th of July, fireworks were going off. I was actually at a cookout with my family and friends and my cousin. It was actually a baby shower because someone's having, I think, one of our cousins is having a baby. So it was nice. It was a nice cookout, nice to spend time with family and cousins. It was nice. It was a great 4th of July. We got to hear some fireworks. Alright, so as I was saying, now we did get TNA here. I don't really watch TNA that much, but I do see the highlight. And for TNA, we got TNA Knockout title change match. A rivalry renewed. Cedric Alexander and Ali. Obviously, I know these two feud in WWE, but this is TNA. They clearly set up those guys 3 champion. Alright. Wrestle Talk. This was a missed opportunity.
Welcome to the Wrestle Talk podcast. I'm Ollie Davis. I'm joined by Luco and DAD. Here just can't turn the guy here. The fundamental own goal booking mistakes. So you've got Saturday night's main event. Oh my god, there's been so many shows.
Yeah.
AJ Styles has likely signed his last WWE contract at the Wrestling. Oh, wait.
Then it's Money in the Bank.
So Saturday night's main event is against R-Truth.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, yeah, sure. Out of the 25 dates you've got remaining.
You bought me one.
Yeah, but I thought you liked them. But
Alright, hold on.
Funko figures, at least I.
Alright, now come on. It's not even showing Solomon through here. Hold on a second. Now let's see what Solomon had to say. So we only got like 2 podcasters here. We got JD and then we got Solomon through. And that's pretty much it. There's not many podcasters here. You haven't seen Denise. I don't see Fightful. Probably because it's the 4th of July. They probably got plans here. Just Elliot. Wait, you only made us a 15-minute video? Of a Smackdown review? Really? Probably, we'll tell you it's a holiday, so I don't see that many people here.
Hello all, welcome to Alex's World, a safe space for wrestling fans like you. Happy 4th of July. Happy 4th of July. Those of you who know understand why I made that groan. But we're not going to get into that. Let's talk about this episode of Smackdown. The return to 2 hours. Thank God. And yes, it is permanent. For now. I don't see a plan in place to take them back to 3 hours. Please, for the love of God.
I don't think we saw Julia on TV. And she threw him into a champion. If she was, he might have been in a bad day 7.
Don't go back to 3 hours. 2 hours is so much better.
Yeah.
I was able to sit through the show and not feel like it was dragging too long. 2 hours really does help. Thank you, USA, for not getting greedy. I understand that you rely on WWE programming to bring in the advertisers. This is how you make your money, because ain't no one watching anything else on your network. But thank you for not making this show longer than it needs to be. Phil.
As you guys know, we can still hear the fireworks, by the way. It's crazy. Alright. So we got Joe Cronin. Was it Joe calling his wife or girlfriend or something?
Tonight, we have the new bloodline, the same as the old bloodline. Closing the show, putting Jacob Fatu through the announce desk as the new bloodline stands tall. What else did we have on this show tonight? Oh, you know what? Actually, there was one thing in particular that I really liked, which was the return of Drew McIntyre. Thank God Drew McIntyre is back. I actually thought he might miss SummerSlam. I didn't think that Drew McIntyre was going to be around for a little while, but he is back, and back in time for a Saturday night's main event match. Hey, BP Broadcast, happy 4th to you. Calm your tits, okay? Take it down a notch.
Yeah.
Don't worry, you'll survive. I'm taking my time here. But yes, Drew McIntyre is back. Former WWE champion was on Smackdown tonight for the first time since we saw him in a cage against Damian Priest back in May, so that was one positive of the show. We have a women's championship match that has been set for Evolution, which is a little over a week away, and so Tiffany Stratton has an opponent for that show. Before she gets to Jade Cargill at SummerSlam, she will have to contend with Evolution first, and they set it up in the laziest possible way. You know what I love? I love how in NXT, Shawn Michaels sets up an entire tournament to determine a challenger for Jacy Jayne and her NXT Women's Championship, right? He goes through this whole rigmarole, and Jordynne Grace now is going to be challenging for the title. And you look at what they've done on the main roster with both women's championships, on Raw with Io Sky and on SmackDown with Tiffany Stratton. And I love how they just come out and they get to pick their opponent. They just come out and say, I'm going to defend my title against you. I'm going to defend my title against you. That's what. Now, on one show, I can understand it, but to do the same thing on both shows at the same time, it's a little much. But basically, we have the same thing going on right now on Raw and SmackDown. I will talk about who the challenger is going to be for Tiffany Stratton, how we got there, and everything else that happened on a very, very dull episode of SmackDown tonight. This is your Friday Night SmackDown review for July 4, 2025. I am the Solid Monster. Thank you guys again for hanging out with me on a Friday night. Like and subscribe. If we hit 400 likes minimum tonight, we will do Be the Booker at the end of the stream. So be sure to get those likes up. Super chats are open. We got a couple of new ones. I pinned the message in the top of the live chat. There's a new $35 and $40 one. You can find all the special amounts in the description down below. But of course, that is up to you guys. And your support is always very much appreciated. I want to give a shout out to Leopoldo, who I do believe is with us here. So shout out to Leopoldo. He dropped a $30 chat at the very end of the stream on Wednesday night. And so it didn't make it on the air, but I wanted to acknowledge him here. So thank you, brother. I appreciate it. I hope your week is going better than mine, since I ended up having to dole out $1,700 in brake work on my car the other day. Now they want to steal another $2,100 from me. I will be going elsewhere to get a second opinion, but I was not expecting this news this week as I prepare to hit the road tomorrow, this holiday weekend. So I am a sad Solid Monster, but hopefully hanging out with you guys will perk me right up here tonight. Solo Sikoa had some car troubles himself of his own tonight. SmackDown opened with the Bloodline pulling up to the arena with the United States Champion, the brand new United States Champion. He won the title from Jacob Fatu in Saudi this past weekend. So he was in the back seat, and he was talking about how tonight we're going to have a celebration. When all of a sudden Jacob Fatu showed up, and he tried pulling him out through the window. And the great Tonga Loa, who made his return. I don't want to undersell this here. I didn't mention that yet, but yes, Tonga Loa is back. He was gone for 6 months, and Tonga Loa made his return at Night of Champions. He got out of the passenger seat of the car to go try to take care of Jacob Fatu. He got thrown into the side of a bus. JC Mateo came around to go after Fatu, who threw him into... The car door was open, and so he threw him into the car door. Fatu went back after Solo when all of a sudden Nick Aldis shows up, officials show up, and they get him to back off. So after that, that's how we kicked off the show. But then we go to the arena, and we have the King of the Ring, the number one contender for the WWE Championship, Cody Rhodes, on his way out to the ring. Salamas are going to pawn the belt for a new car. Which belt? I have a few of them. No, I ain't pawning that. I ain't pawning the Winged Eagle. The Eagle is staying put. The Eagle is not flying high. It's staying right where it is. But Cody Rhodes was on his way out to the ring. This was, for those who don't know, they taped Smackdown on Monday night because they wanted to give people the night off here for the holiday. So this was taped on Monday after Raw was over. So at this point, these people in the building in Pittsburgh, who were not all that loud for the show on Monday, were already in hour 3 of WWE. So with his crown in one hand and a microphone in the other, Cody gave a shout out first to a young man named Cam, who was sitting up in Club 66, he said, who was battling leukemia. And with that out of the way, he said that the crown represented where we've been. And he mentioned past King of the Ring winners like Bret Hart and Booker T and Stone Cold Steve Austin. He said that it also stood for where we're headed. And he mentioned the main event of SummerSlam, him in a rematch one-on-one with John Cena for the undisputed WWE Championship. And before he could go any further, Randy Orton interrupted. Or I should say his music interrupted. And he made his way down to the ring, fresh off his defeat in the finals of the King of the Ring in Riyadh. Orton started by reminding his good friend here that for weeks he told Cody that he would not hesitate. But at Night of Champions, he had Cody dead to rights, right? He was setting up for the punt kick. He was all there. I mean, he got the all clear from air traffic control. All he had to do was launch, and he couldn't do it. He hesitated. Cody, though, pulled the trigger instead, something that Orton admitted he respected. And Orton told Cody to promise him that he won't squander the opportunity to go all the way to SummerSlam and kick John Cena's ass. And you can see Cody, nodding his head in agreement, but before he could say anything, Drew McIntyre's music hit, and he made his way out for the first time since Saturday night's main event in May 24th, I believe. He mocked Randy Orton and Cody for having beta male energy, stating that the alpha had returned. McIntyre said Orton lost the psychological battle because of Cody buttering him up for months and then stabbing him right in the back. He then turned his attention to Orton's surgically repaired back, pointing out how Cody targeted the back at Night of Champions. McIntyre mocked Orton for losing his edge as the legend killer because that legend of Randy Orton was dead as far as he was concerned. McIntyre then turned his attention to Super Cody, stating that he wanted him to win at SummerSlam because this was a match that he's been looking forward to and because he wanted to be the one to rip that title out of Cody's hands. So as McIntyre turned around, Orton delivered an RKO out of nowhere, out of nowhere, but everybody should have seen that one coming. So down goes Drew McIntyre. Orton and Rhodes then shared a brief stare down, and Orton left the ring. It is very good to have Drew McIntyre back. He has been consistently one of the more refreshing parts of WWE programming going back to last year. And frankly, even the end of 2023. He's consistently one of the best parts of television. So when he's not around, as with Kevin Owens right now, Kevin Owens hasn't been around for a few months, it's noticeable, when they're not around. And Owens and McIntyre in particular are two heels who were almost, not running the same angle, but they're two heels who oftentimes would go on television and would explain their actions, and it would make sense. They would explain things in a way that made you go, you know what? They're not wrong. They're not totally wrong. They made sense. And them both not being on TV, at least to me, was very noticeable. Now, Owens we're not going to see for a very long time. But that's why I'm very happy to have Drew back. I thought he might miss SummerSlam. The reports indicated that he was banged up and he was taking time off. And anyway, so he's back. Question is, are we going to get a heel Randy Orton? Which is where I thought we were headed. I still kind of feel like we're headed in that direction. I did float the other idea that, again, Antonio wrote into the podcast last week, and the way he laid it out, it was very convincing. I am not convinced that it is the right time for Cody Rhodes to go heel. But if Cody was going to go heel and Orton was not, the way he laid it out I thought was very well done. I didn't get a tell one way or the other from anything they did in this segment that Orton is going heel. I mean, he had a little tense stare down with Cody. But what did he do? He came out here. He admitted that I had the chance. I hesitated. That's my fault. You took advantage. You know what? I respect that. Now you better go to SummerSlam and kick John Cena's ass for me and not squander the opportunity that you won by beating me. Right? And then he dropped Drew McIntyre, who was acting like a dick. So there was nothing that Randy Orton did or said that would indicate there's a heel turn on the horizon or that he is still harboring some sort of grudge against Cody for beating him in the King of the Ring final. The seed was planted. You know, they could come back to it. But nothing on this show that would hint at anything in his immediate future other than a match with Drew McIntyre. We got footage from earlier today. Yes, happy 4th to Zachary and everybody in the chat. We'll have people coming in as things go on, so I just want to wish everybody a happy holiday, wherever you may be. We got footage from earlier today showing Charlotte Flair talking to Nick Aldis and learning that she would be in a women's tag team title qualifying match tonight against B-Fab and Michin and Alba Fire and Piper Niven. And the winner of that match would go on to the 4-way at Evolution to challenge for the women's tag team titles. Charlotte was very confused about this whole tag team partner thing. What do you mean tag team partner? And at that point, Alexa Bliss appeared and revealed that she was going to be Charlotte's partner. She said, I know you don't want to be friends. I'm not trying to be your friend, but do you want to win gold?
Alright, now let me show you guys the other podcaster, JD from New York. I think it's been about 30 minutes since I made this live stream, so I'm going to show y'all the other podcaster, JD from New York. What will Randy Orton say at King Cody has eyes set on SummerSlam? Alright, now let's see what JD's going to say.
Game changer. They have a wire trimming head that's universal. It's going to fit any weed eater. They have
hold on.
size leads on it. They have a 3.
I have to skip this commercial. Alright.
By the pool, maybe. Throwing a couple burgers on the grill. I prefer mine with cheese. Maybe some bacon, extra crispy. A little side of barbecue sauce. Maybe some tater tots, maybe some french fries, hot dogs on the grill as well. Homemade chili in the kitchen being made. Ice cold beer, man. Summer rail, Sam Adams. Can't get anything better, bro. Beautiful day in New York City. 85 degrees. Hopefully you guys had a relaxing day. Unfortunately, the only thing that we are celebrating this evening as far as WWE is concerned is that this show went back to 2 hours. Finally, a 2-hour SmackDown. I know. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable, man. The thing is, we go back to a 2-hour SmackDown. It's the first show in this now 2-hour era that we're embracing. And it's a tape show from Boringsburg, Pennsylvania. I know. Now listen, Pittsburgh sucks, bro. Listen, I don't give a shit how many hours of pro wrestling you guys had to endure, man. The show sucked, okay? You guys sucked. Pittsburgh sucked. Lifeless. WWE injected obviously fake crowd noise into tonight's show. But JD, why are you taking it so serious, man? They sent all the talent home to spend 4th of July with their families, JD. NY 206. It's great. You got enough to give me a 2-hour Raw. Why can't you give me a 2-hour SmackDown? In the same night. WWE never approaches these holiday shows with any sense of urgency. Not gonna get bent out of shape about it. It was a lame duck show for 2 hours. Nothing terribly important happened. We got the return of Drew McIntyre tonight. We got 2 more Evolution 2 matches announced for Atlanta next weekend. You know, that show that
that just randomly became a thing. Literally this week, man, they just start fucking pumping matches out, man, like left and right, pumping matches out for this thing. 2 more matches announced for that. Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton fall out. Randy Orton, he may say he respects King Cody. Doesn't look like Randy respects King Cody, if you ask me, folks. There's a lot of anger in the facial expressions of Randy Orton. There's a lot of jealousy behind the eyes of the Viper. So we'll talk about that. Like I said, Drew McIntyre made his return on a taped show, by the way. A taped show for Drew McIntyre. We'll talk about that. More Bloodline in the main event. The Wyatts get a win over all of the tag team division, which now gets them a tag team title match next week. And the crowd goes wild when the Wyatts burst onto the scene. More Andrade, Ray Phoenix as a tag team. And Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair are setting themselves up to be the new tag team champions. Oh, man, I can't wait. It's exactly what I want on my TV screen, a babyface Charlotte Flair, man. Oh, man, such excitement over there, bro. This show was a thumbs down effort.
It was.
But if you're on social media, you got nothing else better to do on the 4th of July, man. You should have your feet in the pool. You should be sitting there with a burger in one hand, a cold drink in the other, and you should just be enjoying life, man. You're on social media because Triple H and the WWE want you to celebrate the 4th of July, right? America's birthday. Yet everybody's wondering why we didn't celebrate Juneteenth in WWE and why we didn't celebrate Pride Month in WWE. Those are those people online. You could be one of those people. It's amazing how a 60-second clip on social media riles everybody up, man, for no reason on the 4th of July when everybody should be celebrating with their friends and families, having a nice, relaxing evening with their friends and families. Hey, let me go on social media and type Triple H. Oh, you guys do celebrate holidays. Couldn't be me, bro. Couldn't be me. Sickos. The word sickos spans well beyond AEW. We'll go over all that tonight, folks. I'm going to try and get you guys out of here in a prompt and timely fashion this evening because it is the 4th of July and clearly nobody wants to be here talking about Friday Night Smackdown. I don't even know why the fuck I'm here. I don't know why I'm here, but I'll tell you who is here, man. We got Havili in the chat. We got Havili in the chat. God just randomly walks up to the bar, man, right before the fucking show starts. 7:20 p.m. Shows up, orders everybody at the VIP pool a drink, drops a $100 super chat, does Havili. Brother, wherever you are, man, probably sleeping by now. In Brisbane, Australia. Thank you very much, brother. Appreciate you. I thank you guys for joining me on this Friday night. I know nobody wants to be here, but here we are. Follow me on social media, if you guys wish. At JD from NY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for all notifications. Make sure you guys go out there and check the homepage on the channel. So much content up there, man. We got news on Britt Baker. We got live streams this week from Monday, Tuesday Night Titans, episode 101. We got Wednesday Night Dynamite. Make sure you guys go and check all that stuff out on the homepage. I appreciate you guys very, very, very much. Thank you to everybody who continues to make the channel stronger than ever, man. We just hit 172,000 subscribers this week on YouTube, so thank you guys for that. Really appreciate it. We hit that on Wednesday after the AEW Dynamite stream, so thank you guys very much for that. Super chats are open. Get them on in. We'll hang out at the end of the show. It's a great way to support super chats. Get them on in. As always, at the end of the show, we'll read through them all, hang out. Got my cold beverage all ready to go. So get them on in. Hit that thumbs up. We got just a little bit over 300 likes right now. It's going to be a slow night. Goal's going to be set at 750. If you guys want to hit that.
Alright, come on. I don't know what's going on. It looks like my connection is a little bit. Why is it so damn slow?
And tonight's show is sponsored by my great friends over at Blue Chew. BlueChew.com, code JD at checkout. All you guys have to do is pay the $5 shipping and handling. Not going to be around much this weekend. If there is any news, I will get a news update for you. I will be in Atlantic City tomorrow hanging out with my brother. Sun, beach, and cold beverages in the Atlantic City Boardwalk. So if you guys are down there and you see me walking, playing Pokemon Go tomorrow for EV Community, oh my goodness. Final with the epic 316 promo. But at Night of Champions, he had Rhodes dead to rights and ready to rearrange his skull with a punt kick. But he hesitated. Cody Rhodes pulled the trigger instead, and that is something Randy said he respected. Orton told Rhodes to promise him that he will not squander this opportunity that he's earned to go to SummerSlam, and that he wants him to promise Randy that he will beat John Cena and kick John Cena's ass. Before Cody could say anything, Drew McIntyre returns to WWE television. Raise your hand in the chat. Raise your hand in the beer garden if you think WWE television is just a little bit better with the Scottish psychopath on WWE television. WWE TV is so much better with Drew McIntyre back on TV. He blasts Randy Orton for losing his edge as the legend killer. Because that legend of Randy Orton was dead as far as he was concerned. McIntyre then turns his attention to Super Cody, stating that he wanted him to win at SummerSlam. Because if this was a match that we've talked about in the past and he wanted then, he certainly wants it now. He's looking forward to it. Because he wants to be the one to rip that title from Cody Rhodes' hands.
I'm Kristi Noem, the United States Secretary of Homeland Security. Thank you, President Donald J. Trump, for securing our border and putting...
Hold on, there's no damn commercial.
Now, President Trump has a clear message.
Damn it.
He bit his lip. He was trying to hold back saying something and hold back doing something. I don't know if the rumors of Cody turning heel are even remotely close to true. I don't think so. I don't think WWE's got the balls to pull the trigger on that. I do think that Randy going heel is probably going to happen. And the facial expressions and the reactions of Randy Orton coming out of Night of Champions and then again tonight, I think you just kind of see the writing on the wall. He's not going to hesitate. That's the narrative that they're going with. He's not going to hesitate again. Next time, he's not going to hesitate. He respects Cody. But if Cody wins the WWE Championship, he's not going to hesitate to do what he's got to do to then win the WWE title. Or put himself back in position to win the WWE title. McIntyre, I know he was rumored to be hurt. I don't know how injured he was. He's back on television. Clearly, he's ready to go. I don't know if they are really positioning him as the top guy on SmackDown now. But if Cody's going to win the championship back, McIntyre is definitely a guy I want to see wrestling for the top prize on Friday night.
Yeah, me
I
too.
think that would be fucking great.
Yeah.
Now, there's is another piece of news that is very concerning if you're a WWE fan. Because it's realistically going to take Cody Rhodes off of television. For how long, I don't know. Now, we know Roman Reigns is going to be... Roman Reigns is already off television. I don't know how much more television Roman Reigns can actually miss. He's supposed to be back. You would figure he would be back before SummerSlam and set something up for SummerSlam. I don't know. I don't even know where he fits in. But Roman Reigns is off television. He's going to be off television even more. And Cody Rhodes now may be off television. According to a report from Deadline, Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes have been cast in the upcoming adaptation of Street Fighter. A new Street Fighter live-action movie. And Cody has been cast. He will put on the boots of the classic American hero, Guile. Yes. Cody Rhodes is going to be playing Guile in Street Fighter. Roman Reigns, he's going to be playing Akuma. Now, I could see Roman Reigns playing a great Akuma. I don't know how much of a role Roman Reigns is going to have in the movie. I don't know if Akuma is going to be a top villain in the movie. You would think that Cody Rhodes' role as Guile is going to be a little bit more, as Guile is one of the bigger characters, stars in the video game. But Roman Reigns in the movie, Cody Rhodes in the movie, they're both going to be off television. The film, which is being co-developed by legendary Sony and Capcom, is scheduled for a release next year. It will be a project from Danny and Michael Philippou. Probably butchered their names. Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes join an already star-studded cast that includes Andrew Kochi as Ryu, Noah Centineo as Ken, Kalina Liang as Chun-Li, Jason Momoa as Blanca. Boy, they got Jason Momoa and Roman Reigns in the same movie, huh? Gonna have the ladies fucking pulling their panties off in the fucking movie theaters with that one. Holy shit. David, I'm gonna butcher this guy's name. David Dastmalchian as M. Bison. And 50 Cent. Yes, Curtis Jackson, 50 Cent. He will be playing Balrog. Orville Redenbacher? No, Orville Peck. Orville Peck will be playing Vega, and Andrew Schultz will be playing the character Dan. This will be the first live... This sounds awful, by the way. That sounds fucking terrible. This will be the first live-action Street Fighter adaptation since the 1994 cult classic with Raul Julia, who played M. Bison in the movie. You do know that woke Hollywood in 2026 is going to completely fuck this up. I will say this. Street Fighter is better than Mortal Kombat video game-wise, but Mortal Kombat has had the better movies. Nothing beats the first adaptation of Mortal Kombat. Nothing. Nothing. I don't give a shit what came after it. I don't give a shit what you think. The first adaptation of a live-action Mortal Kombat movie was the best video game adaptation of a fighting game ever. One of the greatest adaptations, maybe video game-wise, ever in TV. Love it. You cannot ever duplicate that movie. Ever. Every time that movie is on, man, I'm sucked in. Like I'm fucking... When did that come out? 93? 94? Like I'm 10 years old again, man, all over again. And that soundtrack was fucking great, man. That soundtrack was fucking great. They had Fear Factory on that soundtrack, man. That was just a badass soundtrack. Oh my goodness, look at this fucking guy. The guy that broke Solomonster on Tuesday, man. Holy shit. Oh my goodness, we got a $100 bomb! By our guy Street Fighter. Cody is playing Guile as Street Fighter. I'm all for it. If it means Cody's off TV, so be it. Sonic Boom!
Well, it's not good now for Cody Rhodes to be off of TV because, well, SmackDown 2 hour. Hopefully, John Cena is gonna be on TV. I don't think he's on Street Fighter, but John Cena. I don't think they said. I don't think he's advertised for next week, so we don't know when John Cena is gonna come back. Hopefully, it's not too long. And you have to hype up SummerSlam and build up to the match.
Street Fighter coming in with a Sonic Boom $100 super chat. Another round. Qualifier against the Secret Hervis and Michin teaming with BFAB.
Yeah.
Winner will get a spot in the Evolution 2 Fatal 4-Way Women's Tag Team title match. Alexa Bliss appeared and she revealed that she was going to be Flair's partner for this match. Charlotte looked at Alexa and Alexa said, "You're welcome." Gee, I wonder who won this match, chat.
Obviously, Charlotte and
It was
Alexa.
definitely Michin and BFAB that won it, right? No! Wow, man. I totally would have went with them. No. Alexa Bliss and Charlotte. Easy victory here. The Secret Hervis attempted a double team, which was intercepted by Flair and Bliss. Flair, she climbs the top rope and taps Bliss on the head, taps her forehead in a very condescending way. This was deemed a tag by the referee, so this made Alexa the legal woman. Charlotte jumps off the top rope, and she hits a very ugly-looking moonsault on top of Piper Niven. You know, they call Charlotte the super athlete in the women's division. Meanwhile, she cannot even do a proper moonsault ever.
Exactly.
She does it off the top rope to the outside.
I know what.
She misses 99% of it. She does it in the ring, and she hits knees first. I don't know why. Here's a little tip for you, folks. Don't go knees first when you do a moonsault. Put your body into it.
Yeah.
Tiffany Stratton still has the best moonsault in all of the WWE Women's Division.
Better than Charlotte.
Does that still make Charlotte the super athlete of the Women's Division?
No.
No, it does not. So she does the moonsault, which looked terrible. This allowed Bliss to enter as the legal woman. She hit Twisted Bliss on Alba Fire, and that was enough to get the 1, 2, 3, man. Wow, man. Color me fucking shocked, man. Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair are going to Evolution to challenge for the tag team titles, man. Oh, man. I thought it was going to be Michin. It was never going to be Michin and BFAB. You see, you can't really compare. You can't really compare Io's moonsault, chat. Can't really compare Io's moonsault and Tiffany Stratton's moonsault. They're two different trajectories of moonsault. You can't compare them. One is like a fucking Ferrari. And the other is like...
Alright, now let's go into the news and rumors. As you guys know, Britt Baker seeking early AEW exit. What's really going on? Britt Baker might be leaving AEW.
Is a really unpredictable, wild, untamed beast. The winds of change, they can change and sway in any direction on any given day. Today is one of those days. Dr. Britt Baker. We all know that she's had problems with AEW. We all know that AEW has had problems with Britt Baker. And today it was revealed and reported that Britt Baker is seeking an early release from her AEW contract. I got the latest on Britt Baker asking for her release with a very strong opinion behind it. And if you're an AEW sicko, I can't wait for you all to immediately start the negativity campaign in regards to Britt Baker, where 3 or 4 years ago, everybody was glazing Britt Baker like a fucking Krispy Kreme donut. I can't wait for all these people to turn over a blind eye and now go against the good doctor. I got the latest on that. And Tony Khan, apparently he's announced where All In next year's taking place. And like a fool, he thinks he's going back to Wembley Stadium with the same results as he got the first 2 years. He went and brought All In to the United Kingdom. I got the latest on all that right here on Off the Script. It is your Wednesday, July 2nd, 2025. I am not the biggest Britt Baker fan. I think that much is very well known and has been documented. Have I spoken to Britt personally? I have. Have I apologized to Britt Baker for some misunderstandings in the past? I have. Has Britt reached out to me in a completely friendly and non-wrestling way when Bacardi passed away last year? She did, and I greatly appreciate that, and today that still sticks with me, so I love the fact that she did that. It shows that she's a real genuine human being. I am not the biggest Britt Baker fan from an in-ring aspect from what we see on television. If you don't think you could still make money with Britt Baker on television in 2025, you should not be in the pro wrestling business, period. Simple. This woman has been off TV since last November. October or November-ish. The last thing I remember seeing is that Britt Baker was set to feud with Serena Deeb, and the fabled words on that night were, "Nobody cares, nobody cares." Please tell me where Britt Baker was actually telling a lie. She's been off TV since. Before that, she got suspended for a backstage altercation with MJF and his fiancée, Alicia Atu. Nobody knows what happened there. Things were said. I don't know if it had anything to do with the fact that she just got back and she was already criticizing the current direction of the product. It was around the time where MJF and Will Ospreay went out on Dynamite 250 and gave us a 60-minute Broadway. Who would complain about that? I don't know, which resulted in one of the best matches that the company's ever put on. I don't know why anybody would complain about that. If you want the company to grow, those are the types of guys that need to be in those positions and on television. I get it. But you can look at it from Britt Baker's point of view as well. I just come back and these guys are getting 60 minutes. Nothing's really changed around here, and we're still operating this fucking show with one woman's match that barely gets 7 minutes. I get it. I get it. But you voice your opinion there and you speak up. No, man. You're going to go to Guantanamo Bay. And the key is going to be thrown away and you'll never be heard from again. There have been problems. That's just the tip of the iceberg. Thunder Rosa and everything that happened with that. Jesse and I got involved with that. And there was a whole blow up on social media. I don't need to go over it. I don't need to call back to that. You guys know what happened. Wrestling fans spent part of their day on Tuesday, and continue to do so, trying to decode the latest social media post from Dr. Britt Baker, who seemingly implied that her value in All Elite Wrestling is no longer what it was when she inked a 5-year contract extension towards the tail end of 2021. If I can find the tweet or the Instagram post that she put up in a very cryptic manner, I'll put it in the video. It was the latest clue that Britt Baker and AEW may be headed towards a split. And Bodyslam.net has now reported that Britt Baker is actively seeking an early release from the company. Furthermore, the report indicates that those in AEW are under the impression there would be interest from WWE to sign her should she hit free agency. As things currently stand, AEW isn't looking to release Britt Baker from her contract. The eternal belief is that they don't want any upcoming WWE Pittsburgh shows to be announced, as well as Evolution to pass, before letting anything move forward. WWE just held a joint Raw and SmackDown taping from Pittsburgh at the PPG Paints Arena this past Monday. They also taped SmackDown there to give everybody a taped show on Friday so that the talent may go home and celebrate the 4th of July with their friends and family. So they did this show, this double taping from Pittsburgh this past Monday, so it may be some time before the company makes a return to Pittsburgh. Evolution, in the meantime, is set for next weekend on July 13th, Sunday, from Atlanta, and that is going to be a part of a massive WWE takeover in the city, which will and has been used to counter-program AEW All In Texas, which is ridiculous, because if you look at the NXT...
All right, hold on. I'm gonna focus on the my podcasters here. I think that was enough news and rumor for today. Might voice go back to the other podcasters. Let's go back to them talking about SmackDown. Really not much to talk about. Hopefully this week on Monday Night Raw, that there's more to talk about on Raw. Maybe, hopefully, there's more news and rumors. Now, I know next week we will be talking about a lot of wrestling. We got the Saturday Night main event. We got Evolution 2 for the woman. And I think we got an AEW All In. I think it's All In or it's All Out. I think that's on Saturday, I think, or Sunday. So, there's a lot to talk about next week. This week, not so much, because today's the holidays. Well, let's go back to the podcasters. Go back to Salamat or Sound Off. Let's see what we have to say.
You people are awfully nice. Important to protect JC Mateo and not have him take the losing fall, and have Fatu pin Solo Sikoa. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. I wouldn't have done it that way, but that's what happened. A very mid-main event to end a very boring show. The dead crowd didn't help, but you know what? Sitting through 5 hours of television as these people in Pittsburgh did, and what does that equate to? About 18 commercial breaks probably over the course of the night that these poor people had to sit through. I'll give them a pass on that. But yeah, no, I mean this was a very boring show. This was a very boring show. I am happy the show is back to 2 hours, because imagine sitting through 3 hours of this shit. But very much a phoned-in show for the holidays is what this show felt like to me. Now, next week, the Wyatt Six, they're going to get another tag team title match. They had one a few weeks ago. They're getting one next week against the Street Profits. R-Truth is going to go one-on-one with Aleister Black. And maybe the big news here, Jelly Roll is going to be in Nashville on SmackDown next week. Gee, I'm sorry I'm going to miss that. I will not be here next Friday. You guys will have to enjoy some Jelly Roll on your own. That's the lineup for SmackDown next week. Take a look at the Twitter poll. SmackDown from Pittsburgh. 57% thumbs up, 42% thumbs down. Well, you people are awfully nice. Lineup for SmackDown next week. Match. He just won the championship less than a week ago. Why was it so important to protect JC Mateo and not have him take the losing fall and have Fatu pin Solo Sikoa? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. I wouldn't have done it that way, but that's what. And he pinned the United States champion. After the match,
taking place this weekend in Connecticut, Stamford, Bridgeport, one of them. I don't know what city. July 6th, Sunday. This show was rumored to be taking place. That was the original rumor. Then they moved it to next weekend. Beyonce, All In, which is taking place at Globe Life Field in Arlington. And then the MLB All-Star Game, which is taking place at Truist Field in Atlanta. Evolution 2 does not need to be taking place. It is a waste of a show. WWE is using their women's roster, a women's roster that they hold in such high regard, a women's roster which is basically the only reason why NXT television is probably watchable on a week-to-week basis, because there's legitimately nothing else on that fucking show at the top of the card that is remotely interesting. You got Mike Santana at the top of the fucking card on NXT television, battling Trick Williams holding the TNA Championship. Mike Santana is fucking phenomenal. He's not even with the WWE, and he's the best thing about their television show on Tuesday nights. NXT's awful. Without the women, they got nothing. WWE touts that they got the brightest and hottest women's division in the entire world, the most talented roster of women in the entire world. Yet WWE thinks so highly of them that they put them on a show all by themselves while everything else that weekend is going on around them. Who do you think WWE is going to blame when shit hits the fan? Who do you think WWE is going to blame when ticket sales are low, when interest is low, and no one gives a shit about the fucking show on the 14th? They're going to blame the women. The women didn't book Atlanta. The women didn't book this weekend. The women didn't want to be booked across the street from a fucking Beyonce concert. The women didn't want to be booked on the same show where WWE's booking 2 other shows around All In. Shame on them. If I'm a talent in that women's locker room, I'm fucking pissed. You got WWE to blame. Their lust to take away from AEW is blinding them. They are using their women as scapegoats to throw them out there to die against AEW all in Texas. Might not be happening on the same night, thank God. But who's going to be talking about Evolution at the end of that weekend? Where it should have taken place is a weekend all to itself where they have nothing going on but that. They got Smackdown. They got Saturday night's main event. They got fucking Great American Bash. All on the same night. Saturday night's main event and Great American Bash on the same day as All In. And none of this is going to take away from All In. If you have already decided to watch All In, you are watching All In. You're not going to watch NXT and then watch All In later. And by the way, the Great American Bash card is fucking awful. If that's what WWE is doing, if that's the card that WWE is putting up against All In Texas, what the fuck is the point? What is the point? You've already made your decision on what you're watching. WWE is not taking away from AEW. They're not. I don't give a fuck who shows up on that show. But this Evolution show, we saw this coming from a mile away. They are being used. If I'm a woman in that locker room, I'm fucking absolutely livid. This is what you think of us? Instead of giving us a show all to ourselves on a weekend, all to ourselves, there's fucking 7 other events going on, 4 of which are pro wrestling. And we're the last show on the weekend, man. By the time the weekend's over, people are going to be fucking exhausted. Imagine all the pro wrestling you have to watch to then get to Evolution. WWE's pettiness, WWE's lust to take away from AEW has gotten so bad that they are doing anything possible, loading up weekends with multiple shows across multiple different promotions to try and take away the thunder that is All In. And believe me, AEW's product is ice fucking cold, bro. But if there's one thing that Tony Khan does right, it's pay-per-view. It'll be WWE's death wish when nobody's talking about Great American Bash and no one's talking about Evolution because you opted to put those shows up against All in Texas. I wish people would be normal. I really do. I really wish people would be normal. Nick Aldis is talking to the SmackDown Tag Team Division, yelling at them for causing chaos in the Wyatt Six Street Profits match last week. This would end up with Andrade and Rey Fenix versus Fraxium booked for tonight, as well as an 8-man tag team match being booked with the Wyatt Six against 4 stars from the SmackDown Tag Team Division. Uncle Howdy, Joe Gacy, Eric Rowan, and Dexter Lumis versus Berto from Los Garza, Johnny Gargano from DIY, Chris Sabin from the Motor City Machine Guns, and Montez Ford from the Street Profits. I commend WWE for at least trying to come up with something. A story for the tag team division. I don't know if this is necessarily better than what we got earlier in the year when it was DIY and the Machine Guns and the Profits and Pretty Deadly and Los Garza. I don't know if it's better than that. That wasn't even good. But the tag team division and its strength is in the teams that they have and the great teams that go out there weekly and just put on banger matches. I wish the stories were a little bit better. I guess in this sense with the Wyatt Six, they're creepy, they're scary, they're not in numbers greater than the tag team division if the tag team division works together, but they're at least making the Wyatts seem like an intimidating faction, while the rest of the tag team division is struggling to get ahead. This was fine for what it was. Am I over the moon excited about watching this? No.
Me neither.
Am I very bored of the Wyatt Six? Yes, I am.
Yeah, me too.
I find absolutely nothing interesting about the Wyatt Six. Nothing.
It's been rinse and repeat. Same old shit.
I don't know what it is. If it's the presentation, if it's the fact that they don't speak. I just want them to be... I don't know why it's so difficult. To get this group across the right way. Look at what they did with the Wyatt family. Like the original version of the Wyatt family. I'm talking about Wyatt, Rowan, and Harper. They spoke. You heard them. You physically seen them speak. They were live in front of you. We hear nothing from the Wyatt Six. We see nothing of the Wyatt Six. The last thing that we got with the Wyatt Six was a VHS-style vignette with Bo Dallas. That's it. They're getting no reaction when they come out. Silence when they come out. No reaction when they wrestle. No reaction when they win. The time off didn't kill the Wyatt Six. Creative killed the Wyatt Six. They just don't know how to book the Wyatt Six. Wyatt Six ended up winning here. There was a cool spot in this match with Johnny Gargano trying to make peace with Dexter Lumis. Dexter Lumis, the old version of Dexter Lumis, was a part of Johnny Gargano's The Way. He had a thing with Indy Hartwell. Lumis didn't want anything with Gargano. He punched Gargano down and slammed him down.
I might well stop the video. I think I made it long enough. I think I made it like almost an hour and 15 minutes. I think that's been long enough. So I'm going to end my live stream right here. Just want to say thank you for watching. Thank you. Hopefully y'all enjoyed the video. Hit that like button. Please subscribe to my channel. I'll be back with more. I will do Monday Night Raw review on Raw, and I will do next week. I'll do Smackdown. I'll do AEW pay-per-view. I'll do Sonic Man event. I'll do Evolution 2. and I'll do my predictions next week. But as of right now, I'm going to stop the video. Until that time, this is Jacob Cat 2024. I'll see y'all later. And until that time,